happening? Crypto's dead. It's over, baby. It is over. We're gonna start trading. Yo, what's up, Crypto WoofPack? Shout out to the crypto gang. Shout out to the Crypto Cowboys. Shout out to Rob, CJ. What's going on? What's up, Remy? What's up, Julio Garcia? What's up, Gordon Dunn? John Kim, yo, what up, man? Crypto Cowboys in the house as usual. How are we feeling today? Is crypto dead? Are we going to start trading basketball cards? It's going to be basketball card review. Is CZ going to be in jail, or is he going to be cellmates with good old-fashioned SPF? Sam Bankman-Fried? What's up, Toby Hunter? What's up, bro? Yeah, man, we got a little bit to talk about. We do have a special guest as well. We're going to be talking about PRC strategies. Like, you have to be ahead of the market to win. And what is the next play? We see Pepe pump. We see Doge pump. And we're like, oh, shit, we missed it. So, like, how do we get in on these huge, like, 200%, 1,000% pumps? How does that happen? We're going to be talking about that here in a little bit. First, we're going to take a look at the markets. We're going to take a look at some of the FUD that is going on and discuss it, see if we're going to make it. But anyways, it's been a while. I'm just hollering at you here from Richie's house. How we doing? What's up, Hexago Turtle? What's going on? What's up, Not Your Enemy? Michael Foza? What's up? What's up? Let's all add liquidity to the like button, all right? Let's all add liquidity to the like button, and you're going to earn CWR tokens, and you can stake those, and then Richard Hart is going to be supporting the price of the ink that you're earning. You know what I mean? Low key off of Tornado Cash. What's up, John Kim? St. Wolf, Hippie Hedge Fund. What up? What up? Let's add liquidity to that like button, and we're going to get started. You guys want some screen share? Let's check it out. Bitcoin took a pretty big tumble. Let's check that out. Let's not dox anything, okay? All right. Taking a look at Bitcoin, we do have a really nasty candle. It almost feels like the SEC is trying to time the market. You know, we have the S&P 500 reaching yearly highs. Look at that. Highs, like, look, September, we're almost taking out the high of Wednesday, August 17th, 2022. That's what we're coming to. That's what we're coming to. We're coming to a huge, huge level of interest and support, or resistance, I mean, and that's going to be at about 4,300. If we can take out that level on the SPX. Now, the futures has already done it. We have already taken that out right at about 4,303. We haven't taken out this high, but we've taken out that 4,300. Everything is looking pretty good inside of the macro markets, and this would have really dragged up Bitcoin. It would have dragged up all of our shitcoin bags. This was really critical for Bitcoin, and the SEC comes out with a lawsuit against CZ Binance and a few other chains, which I am going to show you in a little bit. But first, let's jump back into BTC and what the heck is going on. It's an absolute bloodbath. We have flushed this support right here. We have flushed the 377 exponential moving average. We are at that 25K mark. Now, earlier in the chat, if you are in the Telegram chat, you are in the know. We've been saying that there's a good possibility that we're going to come down to this Fibonacci pivot at S2. And what does that coincide with right here? That's the 200 exponential moving average on the daily chart, which is key, which is a key level for the historically for Bitcoin. All right. It usually rides that. It usually rides above that during the bull markets and finds support on the 200 a lot of times. All right. So this is very, very critical. And it also crosses the S2 pivot, which is a Fibonacci support. All right. So now we have confluence in indicators. And that's what you really want to see, because that increases the probabilities. But we did not foresee this FUD coming out of the SEC today. Okay. We knew it was coming. They already sued Coinbase. All right. Does anybody use, I'm from the United States. I don't really use Binance. I'm all on DEX. Like, this doesn't really affect me. Honestly, the way the crypto sphere is going and how people think about crypto has changed, and these big centralized exchanges are just antiquated anyway, but the FUD is real and people are scared. And there's two things that drives the market, and that's fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and then FOMO. Okay. So this is anti-FOMO. We have the SEC, but it isn't just, look, the SEC is crazy because they are trying to accuse him of actually commingling funds, lying, selling securities, and also they said their main trading partner was Alameda Capital. All right. That's the crazy part. They're saying that their main OTC desk was with Alameda Capital, that they're in cahoots, which is super wild if you think about it, man, because CZ is the one that snitched them out, So that's crazy. So yeah, man, he threw them under the bus. That they were his main trading partner. He knew what was going on over there. He was actively doing it, and what's going to happen? Guys, I think what I really think is going to happen here is we're just going to sunset CZ. He's going to be like an Arthur Hayes type, and he's just going to be in the background. He's going to be a meme. He's going to be a spokesman for Binance. They're going to get a new CEO. They're going to fight this court case. They tweeted they're going to fight this court case to the full extent of the law. Look, the SEC couldn't do shit against XRP, which is an obvious security. They still haven't closed the case in half a decade. This is going to be a long, drawn-out thing. All right. And it's not going to be overnight crypto is going to die. What happens is people get scared, and that's what moves the markets. People are dumping right now. And I'm guaranteeing you, right around the 200 exponential moving average, that yellow line, right around that S2 pivot, I'm thinking we're going to get a bounce there. I think the probabilities are high. Remember, in crypto, in life, and everywhere, there are no certainties. There are only probabilities. And when you've got confluence in these indicators, it is beautiful. That's usually an increased probability of a bounce there. We are already thinking that we're going to roll over and go there anyway. Bitcoin has been weak. It's been quite ugly, to be honest. So we're going to sunset CZ, right? We're going to get a new CEO. They're going to be on a long drawn out court case. And in a couple of weeks, no one's going to talk about it. Is anybody talking about Coinbase lawsuit? Is anybody talking about it? Have you thought about it? Have you seen the tweet about it? That was just a few weeks ago. That's the same thing that's going to happen here. It's not the end of the world. We're not all going to die. Okay. So I got my eyes on the prize is what I'm doing. All right. This is a challenging time. Okay. We're going through a lot of regulatory changes. It's all politics. It's all craziness, and one thing before I move on to PulseChain and what I'm doing and things like that, this is a pretty simple chart, okay? We got a huge flush down. It got front ran before the 200 exponential moving average, which is pretty bullish. That's right at this whole area right here. This is going to be your 25K. Even on CNBC, I see people talking, and they're like, yeah, we're interested at 25K. Just the talking heads normies. They're interested at 25K. Bitcoin's not going to die. It's not over. I think that this lawsuit against CZ, against Binance, is smaller of a deal than the actual Coinbase one. I really believe that. I don't think the SEC has any teeth. And I also think that some regulatory things are in the works for the 2024 election year. But hold on. Before we get into that, I do want to show you one thing. This is the part I don't like. This is the part that is scary. Let me see if my screen share is actually doing it. Let me change my... It's being really weird. I got to change my screen share to an actual other page. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, right here. Let's share this page. All right. So inside the lawsuit, this is the part that's wild, bro. Like inside the lawsuit, they just pancaked in, they just sandwiched in U.S. brands SEC or the U.S. SEC brands Solana, Cardano, and Polygon as securities. Like what? What are you talking about? Dude, like Polygon is a layer 2 for Ethereum. They're not suing Ethereum. Does anybody at the SEC know what's going on? Did they understand how crypto works? Well, according to this page, they don't. So Matic, also just a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum. So you're going to... Bro, how are you going to go after the layer 2 and not the layer 1? They literally have no clue what's going on. And Solana, of course, is deeply entrenched with SBF, Alameda Capital, and FTX. So all of this drama is still an aftershock from the whole FTX, Alameda, SBF thing from last year. This is still what they did was they did an investigation into FTX. You already know that Sam Bankman-Fried is out there singing like a bird to these guys, telling them everything, trying to save his own ass, and that dragged down CZ, which CZ snitched him off first, and now he's snitching him back. So that's how it's going on. I think this is an aftershock from that. And if this is what they're doing now, they're a year behind. They're a year behind. Binance and CZ have a lot of money. They're offshore, you know what I mean? Yes, they did provide services for U.S. investors, and they probably commingled funds, and they probably were sloppy with their books and everything like that. But at the end of the day, like, what does it do? Like, we're gonna have 3 years of litigations, and what is that going to do? Like, they're gonna pay a fine. They're going to have a new CEO. They're going to have a complete restructuring of their platform. They're going to get compliant everywhere by that time, pay a fine, and it's over. Crypto's not going to die. It's not going away. All right. In fact, we do I know, look, the SEC, the United States government, the Biden administration, I would say the Democrats, okay, hate me if you want to hate me, but I would say the Democrats, what they're doing, they want to kill crypto. They want to kill crypto, but the other side, the Republican side, they don't. They actually want to. There's a Senate bill. Let me see if I have it. Sorry, guys, I didn't show prep that much. Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. But yeah, so there's actually, I don't have the page pulled up, but there's a Senate bill on the floor right now, and they're trying to label cryptocurrencies as commodities, right? So the Republicans, they have really come forth to the forefront, being pro-crypto, pro-freedom, pro-money, pro-like sanity. And we have a huge election next year, right around the halving, and crypto is going to be one of the main debates. And we're going to have a lot of good news, because imagine being against crypto and running for election. And literally everybody loves crypto. Everybody wants financial freedom. Everybody's sick of the dollar, the money printing, all of the inflation, all of that stuff. And they want to hold their own keys. They want to be their own bank. And imagine being the party that wants to kill crypto and like tactically release news to try to suppress the price and do all that stuff. Good luck. Good luck. And the Republicans are taking the other stance. So we do have hope. It's not over. This lawsuit's a dud. It's going to be major FUD. It's going to push the market down, and then we're going to pump back up, and everyone's going to forget about it, just like they forgot about the SEC lawsuit against Coinbase, which was just weeks ago. And Coinbase is even a bigger deal. We knew this was coming. Okay, so they're going to fight. Julio Garcia, what about Hex subpoena? Yeah, man, we haven't really heard anything about the Hex subpoena, anything further. It seems like Hexo streaming, a lot of those guys that got I would say indicted. I don't know if that's the right word, but a lot of those guys, they're streaming. They don't look scared. The SEC does do investigations and then not decide to prosecute. And if they don't, they're never going to say anything. It's never going to be public. So we really don't know. It's a possibility, man. It's a possibility. That's the world that we're living in right now. It's uncertain. It's uncertain. We got one group of politicians that are pro crypto. We got one group that's trying to kill it and make us all criminals for trading dog coins. It's a crazy time. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's over, because I don't know, but it's a good sign that after PulseChain launched, there wasn't an immediate lawsuit, So I think that, like, if they were, I would say the probabilities are lower that PulseChain's up and flying. Flying. Now that PulseChain's up and rolling down a hill uncontrollably, there's no lawsuit. So I would say, Julio, I would say that's bullish. That the probabilities decrease. That doesn't mean next year something can't pop up. But it's going to be hard to stop a decentralized platform, Polygon is too, really, and Cardano, Hoskinson, that is somewhat decentralized. It's somewhat similar. Hoskinson's like the Richard Hart for ADA, except he's like nicer, whatever. But yeah, so I see Solana seems more like a security to me, because it's like big tech. It's like a big Silicon Valley VCs and stuff like that, so they can get wrecked. Polygon is India. And so, yeah, it is similar. It is similar. it's funny that they just smash these in. They're like, hey, we're going to sue you, but also we're going to somehow label all these as securities. And I'm not sure how all of that's even going to play out. What are they even saying? On Monday, the agency filed as many as 13 charges against the crypto exchange with the highest trading volume in the world. It's alleged that Binance co-founder Xingpeng Zhao, CZ, mixed billions worth of funds to transfer them to Europe, to a Europe-based company. More importantly, for the crypto trader community, the SEC complaint mentioned that Cardano, Polygon, Solana were being traded on the platform in the form of securities. This adds to ongoing confusion whether cryptocurrencies or the types of crypto tokens are securities or commodities. The complaint has called these assets as investment contracts. Since Binance platform launched, defendants have made available for trading on them crypto assets that are offered and sold as investment contracts, thus as securities. Basically, like, you could literally say everything's a security, change my mind. You like everything on Binance is a security, change my mind. You know what I mean? Like it's so crazy. Thankfully, a recent draft proposal from the U.S. lawmakers focuses on addressing these gaps in cryptocurrency regulations. Other cryptocurrencies described as securities are Filecoin, Cosmos, and Sandbox. Oh, damn, Sand got wrecked on this. And RIP the Snoop mansion that's being built on Sand. The pressing question remains that although the SEC claims that many cryptocurrencies to be securities, there are no suitable procedures to follow in terms of registering crypto assets as securities with the agency. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin price took a big dump. All right, so let's show this on stream again. Yeah, dude. Oh my God, hold up. I think we're like dumping in real time here. Yeah, we took another wick down to 25.4. Yeah, man, I think we're gonna come down here. We could do something really long and drawn out and painful and boring and kind of just like chop around and try to like do like a little lower high on the daily, like a week of chop and then slam through, drop a wick below and try to find support on here. That's kind of what I think is going to happen, and that's my thing. So what's my strategy? Let's take a look at. Should we take a look at EHEX? You guys even want to look? Actually, EHEX is holding up. I think the sellers are just simply exhausted. I think Legion is trying to pick the PRC20 hex, and I think those guys are dumping. I think that's why we had such a massive dump. I think they want there to only be one, you know. I think that's the general sentiment and the argument in the trailer park that is hex. And it looks like, man, hex on the daily chart versus USDC, EHEX is just not following along. It's not dumping. It's just stuck. You know, it's just doing what it has been doing. I assume that it's probably going to come down here to this S1 pivot at about 0.0075. Now, you guys know that Martini guy, he has a lot of like 100,000 plus followers. He actually said that he bought $20,000 worth of hex over here. He does pretty good. I know he was like buying 20K and we dumped to 15 and everyone laughed at him. Well, look at us now. So I think that it's going to be something similar, you know, like if we're going to use the TMG indicator, I'd just be like, yeah, you know, he's probably pretty close to bottom here. Am I interested in hex? Over here I am at 0.00756. I am. I'd probably pick some up. The only thing is convoluted. Like, I don't know which hex to buy because we have PRC hex, we have hex from Ethereum on PulseChain, and then we have this hex. So it's like a bunch of different liquidity pools. It's essentially different tokens. So it's kind of divided by 3. Plus you got PulseChain, PulseX. It makes things very convoluted, but I do think hex will pump. It seems like Legion has chosen the side of PHEX. So I would probably be buying PHEX or Legacy Hex. It's tough because if you buy EHEX on PulseChain, it is a different liquidity pool, but you can port it over back to this hex. So I would probably be buying PHEX or hex on Ethereum. I'd probably slap 10K into that and just let that ride. But I want it down here. I think that the FUD isn't over, and I think we're going to pump. Or we're going to dump for a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and take a look at WPLS. Wacky chart. Like, what is actually even going on here? Like, what's happening here? Hold up. Where am I at? What's this? So yeah, this is the daily chart. We're going to take a look at the 4-hour. So this was like my little falling wedge here. I was buying this trend line like right here and right here. So I'm wrecked on those. But then we popped out of there. It was actually like a little bit higher. I had it like right there, I thought. So I was like buying here and here. And then we popped. And then like it was going to be good. And then we had the big FUD of the PLSX burning and not giving it to the LPs. So we had the big FUD, and that gave us this drop right here. And then we started climbing out of it. We got the 4-hour uptrend right here, and now we just have more FUD, and people are rolling. It's rolling over. People are selling nasty wick. But yeah, I'll probably be buying here at 115264, right back in this area right here. All right, that might have been pretty close to the bottom. Maybe that's a little greedy. Maybe if you don't want to be greedy, like 0.001280 area at this horizontal support and resistance. Because if we come down here, that's a pretty good chance we're going to break this, because we have been down here. You can see that this is the place where we found support last time. So basically, for us to go up, we need a higher low right here. So we want to be in this range. So I'm actually probably going to buy 0.00128, because if we come back down here to 0.011506 at the S1 pivot, the probabilities that we are going down. We're going to drop down, and we're probably going to come down into this area back here, 0.000091. So we're probably go back to about the SAC price. Otherwise, I'll be buying in the SAC price. I have been buying, okay? I have been buying. I've been sending money over the bridge, and I've been accumulating, because my base case is I'm accumulating for the next bull market. And, that's going to be 2024, 2025 peak. And I'm doing the four-year cycle theory. Nothing has changed. I'm slowly averaging in, and I'm providing LP, and I'm rolling that LP back in and just building my liquidity pool for right now. Okay. But there is another strategy that I am like forming up with Rob, from our group. He has like some good insights on the PRCs. He's gonna give us his base case. I'm going to play devil's advocate as usual to that. Okay. But yeah, here we go. We can even look at PLSX if you want really quick. And then we'll open up for questions, and you can talk about your different coins that you're into. And we'll go through the chat a little bit more and take a look at some charts for some other stuff. Pepe ran like crazy. But we'll get into that. But right now, we're going to hold up a second. What's up, JT? PulseChain, what a disaster. What's bullish about it, though? What's bullish about it is there's not a whole lot of negative downside to it, because it's already down. And I'll tell you what else is bullish. At the top of the bull market, I sacrificed, and it's not. I am not down 80%. Imagine if you would have held Hex. We sacked at 11 cents, so now you'd be at 1 cent. All right. Imagine if you held BTC, we'd be like, you'd probably be 50% loss right now. So not only am I not at a loss, I'm also in a gain, because it's above SAC. So I'm also at a gain. So to me, that's bullish. And it's a new L1. And it's got like in the volume of, let me check. It's like in the top 4, top 5 volume of all chains right now. And it's barely done anything in a bear market. So the upside is like 20 to 100x in a bull market, and the downside is very little. So if there's anywhere to be, I think PulseChain's where it is, and that's what I'm doing. That doesn't mean that's what you have to do, but ETH is already run. Solana has already run. Cardano has already run. Polygon has already done like 500x. Bitcoin has done 69 million %. You're gonna go chase that? You're going to go buy Bitcoin. If you go buy Bitcoin right now, we're at like, 25K. You potentially have like a little over a 2x to break ETH. A little over a 2x to break ETH, which is great if that's what you want to do. I have a lot of Bitcoin. Okay. That's okay. But this hasn't run yet. This isn't fully operational yet. Yes, it's a disaster. It's been a shit show, but it is a new L1. My LP is gaining a lot of money, I'm getting a lot. It's fun. I'm addicted to it. I'm interested in it. And I think it's bullish. I think it has more potential upside than any other L1. And it's not sued by the SEC. Not yet. Okay. So no, man, I am bullish on PulseChain, and I'm accumulating, and I'm farming, and I'm having a great time doing it. And also we have another strategy, which we're going to pop up here in a moment. But yeah, it is going down, guys. It's going down. It's probably going to go lower, and I will be buying, which is crazy because I'm the perma bear. But I stick to my plan. You stick to your plan. It's never going to be easy. Like, my plan is the 4-year cycle. That's my base case. I'm in accumulation. I'm accumulating right now, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. And it's not going to be easy. It's not all going to be fun and games. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be FUD. It's going to be crazy shit all the time. You just got to stick the course, and that's how you win in this game. That's how I won on 2 cycles. And I know I'm going to win on this cycle too, because I trust my gut. Like, everything that I buy that I feel is cool and I have fun doing, that tends to work. Everything that I chase that I think is stupid, but I do it for the money, I get wrecked. And I'm having fun, and I'm using PulseChain, and it's a new technology, and it's not even, people haven't even started building on it yet. We're in the deep bear market. We have freaking CZ being sued, and we're still above SAC. We're still above SAC from the top of a bull market. I'm happy. That's what's crazy. Is like, I'm happy. We might go back to SAC, and if we do, I'm going to put like 3 Bitcoin worth in. So I'm going to move 3 of my Bitcoin in. Probably. I don't know. We'll see if I finally get scared. Yeah. JPAR, all signs point to the most X's in PLS. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's like the people who are like, you know, if you sell like at a 2X, a 3X, you know, imagine people who did the ICO for Ethereum and at 25 cents, and they say they put like 100K in, they got 300K out of it at 75 cents, thought they were a trading genius, thought they're the Jordan Belfort, they thought they were the Wolf of Wall Street, you know what I mean? And then that bitch runs to 4,500. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this shit can go beyond your wildest dreams. Same thing with Hex. When I got into Hex, it was like 0.000. When I got into Hex, we were talking about it in Satoshis. Now I'm in the basement of this 2-story house. So the 3rd level, I'm in the basement of, all provided to me by Hex. Not all of it, but I mean, you know, I sold 39 cents, 45 cents if you follow this channel. I sold 12 cents. I made the call. I sold 12 cents at the V3 launch, and then the last of my liquid I sold at 4.5 cents before it really tanked after PulseChain went live. And I only did it because I was addicted to my little LPs and having fun with that. And I was like, yo, I'm having fun with my LPs, and like, I just want more money in there. You know, I want to move shit around. So I sold my Hex at 4.5 cents. I figured it was going to go lower. I didn't know it was going to flash crash. I didn't know all of Legion was going to sell. So what I did, but look, this is how I trust my gut, because I was like, oh shit, that shit went. I'm so glad I traded it. Also with PulseChain, when PulseChain and like P-Hex was running like crazy on PulseChain, I was like, this is crazy, man. People are preferring Hex. Hell no. I sold all of it. And I was right, because that's what I wanted to do, because that's what my gut told me to do. And I always trust my gut, because like, it's always right. Not always, but you know, it's usually right. What's up, Crypto Cat Doge? Shout out to you, bro. What's up, Cornholio? We need a bull market for 100x, please. PLS. Yes, man. We do. And the bull market will come. The bull market is going to come. We have the Fed in the next few weeks. They're going to skip. I'm watching all the Fed speakers. I listened to all of their speeches. They're running the narrative that we're going to skip and not pause. That means we're going to skip the rate hike, but we might hike on the next one. They're just going to say that we're not saying that the rates are significantly restrictive. We're just saying that we're going to try to skip and see what happens. Well, that's a soft pause. Okay. Once the markets really come alive, bro, look, the S&P 500 is almost like at a yearly high. It's just ripping right now. Okay. The money's rolling back in. People are getting excited again. And look, sure, we could go into recession. We might go into recession for 6 months and all die. All of us die. I don't know. But I'm not betting on that. You know, I'm going with it. I'm going with my 4-year cycle theory. If we do get in a recession, I'll pump money in from IRL. You know, I have my own business. I'll pump some money in from IRL if we do get a recession. I have I financially pretty decent. So that's kind of my plan. If I run out of dry powder, which remember when we were running this year and I was 50% in, I was only 50% in the market, and it felt bad, man, you know. But now I feel like a genius because now I'm deploying this dry powder where it matters. You know what I'm saying? So that's the crazy thing is like, I don't know, man. For some reason, like I've had a good ride in crypto. For some reason, I've had a good ride in crypto. And if I run out of dry powder, because like I said, I've been bridging it in. If I run out of dry powder, I'm going to put IRL money in, which I did. I made a Degen account from my bank. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. We're going to bring Rob on here in a second. I just want to make sure I get through the chat. JPAR, I have been in my in many launches that started with 60-80% dump below pre-sale seed round. And that is a disaster. I've been below that is a disaster. Yeah, I know. I know, man. Typically launches go pretty good, but we're launching if you would have just launched it like a month earlier when Bitcoin was ripping at 32K, oh yeah, I think we would have went to like 5 to 22x. That's what I believe. What's up, M Sis? No, it was literally 4 minutes after they launched. Oh, like PLSX. What am I missing here? All right. I think we're ready. Unless you got one more question, we're going to bring on Rob. Funding Jim, hey, what's up, bro? What's going on? How are you doing? Yeah, man, I got Rob with me here in a second. I'm going to put him on. I'm going to hide this on stream. I'm going to bring the homie Rob on, and we're going to talk PRC20s. He has an interesting theory. We talk about it in DM. We're always evil geniuses, you know, trying to plot our next big move. And we were talking about it's like, bro, like we watch Pepe run and we watch Doge run, right? We watch all this shit run and we're like, oh fuck, I don't want to buy. This shit's up 1,000% already. You know, like I missed it. So how the hell do we get in before the big 1000x run, the 1000% run, excuse me. And you have an interesting theory. So like you go ahead and pitch it to us.
Hey, what's up, Alex? How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Not bad. By the way, this is my first time on a live stream, so I'm really excited. Shout out to the WoofPack, man.
Yeah,
been a member here for like what, 2-3 months, 4 months, 5 months?
You have been? I thought you were here for like a year.
I don't think so. I think about 6 months. 6 months. Man.
By the way, guys, I've been there where he's at right there. I've come to visit, and we climbed down a volcano. So if you remember that video, and if you want to see it, just tag me in the chat, and I'll show you the video. We climbed down a volcano and wrote hex in rocks, and it's like 6,000 meters down. We went 6,000 meters.
It's not 6,000 meters, man.
How much?
It's not 6,000 meters.
How far was it?
It was like 2,000 meters, I think.
Okay, well, it felt like 6,000 meters to me. All right.
It was tough. It was tough.
Okay, so we climbed down 2,000 meters and rode hex with big ass rocks, right? Like at one point you have to climb down a tree. Like there's no other route. You got to like go climb a tree down and shit. There's like a sheer drop off. Anyways, yeah, man. So I met this dude. We had some good pizza. Good dude. So yeah, man.
That was Bitcoin Volcano too. So we defaced Bitcoin Volcano.
We defaced Bitcoin Volcano with hex. And hex was what price at the time? Would you say, Rob?
I think we were around 6.5 cents or something like that.
Oh,
we were
the gulag
on where it would go. Yeah.
That's the hex gulag. That's where we were stuck for the longest time, and that's where I believe the take profit for hex is when it does come back, and it will come back. And when it does come back, that's your take profit. The gulag back to 6 cents. That's where we spent a lot of time. That's burned into people's minds. If you want to front run it like 5.55 cents, yeah, I think hex is a 5x. If you want to buy right now, I think it's going to go lower, but I think it's a 5x, a confident 5x. If you want to grind it out for top of the bull, I mean, I think we could do like 22 cents. You know, you could probably 22x off that bitch. If you, that's what I think by my gut, and kind of like the TA that we've done for years on hex, and we know the targets. We sold 12 cents on this channel, you know, and throw one in the chat if you were there when I made that signal. But anyways, yeah, man. So we were just talking like, bro, we need to catch one of these big pumps. We want to push. We want to slosh money around. We need to make transactions volume. You know, like you saw last night, PulseChain dropped from like being the third or fourth most busy blockchain by volume, and then it dropped to like the 6th. We got beat by ZK, whatever the fuck, and then Pepe pumped, and we went right back to 3. You saw that, right? Or right below BNB. So we beat Polygon again, you know. So like just one pump of Pepe, it went batshit crazy last night, and we skyrocketed to the top. You know, like it's good to stay active in the community, keep volume going, make transactions. It's cheap, you know, utilize the platform, do crypto, be involved in crypto, not just speculators, you know, use the apps, have fun, enjoy yourself, and try not to get wrecked. So what do we got to do? Do we need to buy PRC20s? What's
Let's pull back just a little bit and let's talk about Richard Hart, man. Because this everything regarding hacks, PulseChain, it's all about what's in Richard Hart's head. What's his plan? He's a dude that likes to plan things out. So basically, I see things as being in 3 phases. Phase 1 was collect and build. That's where we gave him a bunch of money. And that's basically like a war chest that he has right now with the OA, right? And the build. And that took 2 years. It took way longer than, I think when we first had the sacrifice, what was it, like 2 months until launch or something like that? What was he feeding us?
I remember, man, because I was watching every stream like all 3 hours, you know, like, and it felt like 2 weeks, to be honest. It felt like it was like imminent, like, yo, as soon as we wrap this shit up, because I really don't think we were talking about a PulseX SAC. I really feel like the PulseX SAC, this is just tinfoil, all right? This is your tinfoil hat. I really feel, I don't remember him saying we're going to do a PulseX SAC when we did the PulseChain SAC. So like, I feel like that was a sideshow of like, oh yeah, we're going to do this SAC. And then that went into like February, right? And stuff like that.
It felt like
it was a stall.
Yeah. So anyway, so phase 1 is collect and build, and that took 2 years. And really, that's just the Hex ecosystem, and maybe some influencers have been watching Hex or whatever. But that's just the Hex ecosystem that's been involved in that. And now what we're going to do is we're kind of moving into what I call phase 2. And phase 2 is interesting because we're talking about farming and fixing. Fixing as in it's not ready to roll right now, like it's messed up. Alex, you still there?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're all good. I took a drink of some Pedialyte. It's hot as hell. It's like 100 degrees here.
So anyways, right now we're in what I call the farming and fixing phase. So right now the move, in my opinion, is farming because the rewards are good. And the only thing that Richard Hart needs to do in order to keep the farming and rewards rolling in is keep INK price decent. That's it. As long as INK is coming in, the LPs will continue to build and money will keep flowing slowly into PulseChain. But right now, let's be honest, who's in PulseChain? Who's using it? I don't know anyone who's using Ethereum that wasn't involved in Hex that's using PulseChain right now. Not one. It's really just we're still a circular ecosystem that's recycling the same users. That's it. So if you think about it from Richard's perspective, what are the selling points for PulseChain? Like how you think people are going to join or move from Ethereum to PulseChain because it has 2-second faster block times? No. Is it even the fees? I don't think, because we have BNB, we have Matic, we have a lot of ecosystems that have cheap fees. So I don't think that's going to be the selling point either. The tokenomics, improved tokenomics, I still don't think that's a selling point. I don't think we're going to be able to go and get Ethereum users over just based on those 3 things. So here's where things get interesting. After some time, once they go and the more LP comes over, more little bugs get fixed, and things are starting to look decent, there's going to be a point where Richard Hart goes and flips on phase 3. And this is what the original spark of PulseChain was, which is a vampire attack on Ethereum itself. The only way you can suck users that are ETH heads over to PulseChain is convincing them they have something of value. Right now, if they go and log in and look at their balances on PulseChain, it's going to be nothing. There's going to be nothing of value over there. So Richard Hart's sitting on a war chest, right? He's got a whole bunch of money. He can use that to start bonding things, creating farms and what have you, right? And so at some point, what he's going to do is he's going to start yelling and screaming to everyone, hey, you've got value over a PulseChain, move over. But he's not going to do that until he creates that value. So what does that mean? That means giving value to PRC20s. Right now, as it stands, PRC20s are e-trash, electronic trash floating and clogging up PulseChain. It has no purpose. It just confuses people. Actually, people are like, hey, is this like a wrap Bitcoin or the forked over Bitcoin? Or they don't even know, man. It's just a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, because the problem, that's the problem, is because you have the actual copy, but you can go ahead and port the actual one over. So if you have the actual one that you can swap back, if you can go in and swap your SHIB back over to the Ethereum chain, that's better. That's the one you want because it has value on both chains. You know what I'm saying? But the PRC20 thing is very interesting because, like, if we provide value for that, the early people, the Hexicans and the Pulsicans and the people who rode through the drag queen show, that rode through Hex Hell, been in the gulag, went through a botched launch, went through all that, us, the people that are in this chat, have the opportunity to make value there early, right? But this is where I got to play devil's advocate. Here's what the chink in the armor is. It's actually brilliant. That's literally, Rob, that's like 5D. If Richard was playing 5D chess, that's the 5D chess. That's like, okay.
I honestly don't even think it's 5D chess, because it's the only way he can actually get new users in the ecosystem. And who's going to pump our bags? Who's going to pump PulseChain bags? If it's just the Hexicans, it's not going to happen. It's never going to take off, really, unless we're in a raging bull market. Then everything pumps. The only way we're actually going to be able to go and create real value behind PLS, PLSX, and all that stuff is if PRC20s actually have value. And we can get people to go through the trouble of actually putting in the RPC channel, going over, whatever, and start interacting with the ecosystem. That's the only way.
Okay, but hold on. Let me just play devil's advocate, though. So if people are like, oh shit, I have Shiba Inu value copy over on PulseChain. Oh, free coins. They come over here and then just dump on our heads. You know what I'm saying?
There's going to be a lot of volatility, but what is volatility? Volatility is volume.
Yeah,
so
volatility. And that's how you earn off that.
Dude, so here's the deal. When this happens, there is going to be a lot of people going and dumping and a lot of people buying and FOMOing and all that stuff. All that's attention. And Richard loves attention. All this feeds into his master plan, man. And what's going to happen is it's going to allow us to have sustainable higher volumes than Ethereum itself when it first happens. I don't know if we can sustain it, but at least when the PRC bridge opens and there's farming and tons of liquidity bonding and all this stuff that's happening, there's going to be energy, man. Everyone that's in PulseChain and stuff is going to be like putting their hands up and finally. And what does Richard want to do? He always wants to dump on the people who have a short term, the people that aren't the true believers. And he always wants to reward the long-term hands. That's how his mindset is, because you have an ecosystem where everyone wins in it. It's impossible. Someone has to be the person who buys the top, and someone has to get hosed, right? It has to happen. So what he basically said is, I'm going to put everything in the camp of long-term holders, and those are going to be the people that I reward. Everyone else, screw them.
Okay, so I just want to address in the chat, what's up, Jay Parr? He's saying that he is sighing that we're talking about pumping and things like that. I'm not sure what you want us to talk about. If we just pump, everyone will be happy. That is true, but what we're not talking about just pumping our bags. What we're talking about is the survival and thriving of the PulseChain ecosystem. And what does it mean to survive? Survival of a new L1, because we're in the survival phase right now. Okay, like this shit could go to zero, nothing. So what we're discussing is what makes a good, strong, vibrant ecosystem, and that is, of course, adoption and activity. So if we're farming, if we're trading, if we're having fun, if we're shitcoining, we're doing whatever we're doing, we might be pumping, dumping, it's part of the game. If we're doing all these things, like that's what makes the volume and that's what makes the farms. And Rob has a really brilliant genius point. And I just want to say this again. It's like, this would be the 5D chess. It's like this. You basically here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but here's how I'm seeing what you're saying is, we as people from the Pulse community should adopt these PRC20s. And Rob believes that the farms that are coming, that Richard's next phase is to make farms for this PRC20s, so that people from Ethereum will be like, hey, I have value on PulseChain. I'm going to put in this RPC and go check it out. That is the vampire attack on Ethereum. That is showing Jack Levin a thing or two. Okay. This is like Jack Levin on steroids. This could bring the people. And once the people come and they're like, oh, this shit's pretty silky smooth. The fees are actually a lot better than Ethereum. I have value here. Hold up. They have their own bullshit. They got their own like cool tokens and stuff like that. And that's how you onboard them in. Okay. There is a negative externality that's like, okay, we are buying these up. We are buying these up, right? And a lot of these people are going to come dump. And that is part of the beginning of a new ecosystem. It's massive volatility. And with massive volatility comes massive opportunity, but you could also get wrecked, right? So, but what Rob is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's saying if you're going to buy that that PRC, make a farm for it. So you're just earning fees off of that volatility, right? So we have to figure out, what do we think when the farms come for these PRC20s that are going to onboard and vampire attack Ethereum, which ones are going to be the ones that are selected? Because you definitely, if you are in early before the PRC farms come and your shit gets picked to be on a farm, right? That bitch is going to 1,000%. You know what I mean? That's going to do a Pepe. That's and then you provide the farm
one-to-one. You know, imagine if something happens and we have wrap Bitcoin, and we have wrap Bitcoin that basically was a PRC20 wrap Bitcoin. What happens if that goes one-to-one? Right now it's what, $70 or something like that? I mean, these kind of things can happen. There is such a big war chest of assets right now that it's not that difficult for those kind of things to be feasible. So it's in my opinion, the phase 3 is the PRC hook, man. That's where we go when we actually get users to move over from Ethereum. And so the way we need to think of things now, and I'm not saying like throw in a huge percentage of your bag or anything like that. My personal strategy is I'm farming, because that's what I should be doing right now, is farming, because there's just a lot of chop right now. Just a bunch of chop. So I'm taking those farming rewards and I'm rolling them into PRC20s. And the PRC20s a lot of times have 1 to 100, like 100th the value of the original chain on Ethereum. So some things even less. I mean, some things are like, I mean, you could literally do like a 1000x if it reaches parity, sort of a thing.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm actually rolling my rewards into.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't agree more, man. I'm getting crazy rewards, and I hope it lasts forever. I would literally
it's not gonna last forever, but
that's not gonna, man. I know, but it's so beautiful. All right. So what PRCs? What are your top?
Can I show screen really quick?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think I'm trying to right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to right now. All right, there we are. Okay. So here we are. This is a really useful website. It's pulsecoinlist.com. And so what I can see over here is that there's like DAI from Ethereum, USD from Ethereum. So that means it's been bridged over. But then you see other assets that haven't been bridged over. They're actually like, I don't know what's a good term for them, native PRCs, or I'm not sure what you call them. But look at this. Well, this is wrapped Bitcoin from Ethereum, but there's also wrapped Bitcoin. So this is like a true native PRC. And look at the price difference. $79 versus the current Bitcoin price, which is what, 25K right now? How many X's is that, brother? That's something crazy, right? Am I saying that it's necessarily going to go to parity? Probably not. Maybe it could, I don't know. But what's going to happen is if there's farming rewards and all of a sudden there's this price discovery, the volatility is going to be insane. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it being worth at least 10% of the value of Bitcoin. That's still very good. That means, you know, going up to $2,500 bucks. Also, also over here, like for me, how I sort it is I'm actually going over to Dex Screener. Be very, very careful with all these like fake, funny copies of tokens. Make sure you actually have the contract address. So search using the contract address. Like right here, I can see this is wrapped Bitcoin, and this was basically the native PRC20. And the price has been, shooting around everywhere. But I'm starting to accumulate it right now. I bought my first one maybe around $60 or whatever, and it's been hovering between 60 and like $80. So I'm slowly starting to accumulate more. Why? Why am I choosing this one? Because there's 402K of liquidity already. That's decent. That's decent. That allows me to kind of enter and exit positions efficiently. Doge, this, let me see which, this Doge actually, I think was launched by the guy who made Trust Swap, Jeff, what's his face? This, obviously Doge doesn't exist on Ethereum, but there's decent liquidity here. There's about $250,000 of liquidity. So this is something I'm actually looking to take some positions into as well.
So I just want to add that dude, that Jeff guy, he is also involved in the meme Dex launch. What's the dick joke one again? What's the one with the eggplant? Oh, 9 inch.
Geez,
so Jeff is also in, if I'm pretty sure he's also involved in 9 inch. So and they're like kind of more or less focusing on the meme coins, the meme aspect of everything. The whole thing is a giant dick joke or whatever. So I think that's also kind of a bullish outlook for Doge, if that's going to be his baby, and there's going to be a lot of liquidity there, or he's going to start talking about again, or he's going to be doing more airdrops. Is he supposed to be doing more airdrops?
Here's the thing with Doge is if you hold Doge, supposedly you're going to be getting airdropped and all this stuff from other tokens. Basically, like other tokens will come and say, hey, we're going to do a 2.5% airdrop. So anyone who has Doge tokens gets an airdrop of something else, and that helps the other project because they want more exposure, more visibility, and everything else. So he's kind of treating Doge as the godfather of the meme tokens, kind of the meme token that generates a yield, so to speak. So
yeah, full disclosure, I've also been accumulating Doge myself. It's just been going down and down, and it was crazy because last night, like people that had Doge got Pepe airdrops, right? Is that right?
Yeah, some.
Okay, I came in after that, but
okay.
So what I'm saying, when Pepe ran last night, I thought Doge would be a sympathy play, but it just dumped and dumped and dumped, man. It's been dumping pretty hard, but it ran hard. It was the first 1,000%, right, on PulseChain. But
yeah, the last week it's been flat. And in fairness, the last 7 days it's been ranging, right? So
yeah, so
I think
I have been just full disclosure. That's one of them, but that's not a PRC. That's not a PRC.
No,
is it?
It's not. That's honestly, it's unrelated. It's unrelated. It is the very first thing that actually caught fire a little bit. Market cap was what, 12, 13, 14K for a while up here. And I don't know. For me, I'm adding some to my position right now. So maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But as far as like
go ahead. One thing, hey TD, you got everything that you're looking for is on Dex Screener, and if you would, can you scroll down a little bit and show them where the token address is of that? Like
the token
on the
right
right
here
side,
in the URL.
If you go to the right side, kind of like where it's and then scroll down, and there you go. You'll see WPLS, and then you'll see the token address for the pair. Right? What are you looking at? Link. Okay. You see how that? So TD. You got to add them manually by the token address into your PLSX. The best way to do it is go to Dex Screener, look on the right side of the screen. You can see it says link, and then it says the address, and that's how you find the right one. Just make sure it's the right one. Look at the liquidity. Don't get fooled because there's a lot of copies and a lot of weird shit going on right now. But yeah, just make sure that it has a lot of volume. Make sure that it has a proper market cap. Well, nothing does right now, but you know what I mean? Use your head and use that address and copy that into your PLSX, and it should automatically pop up. For me, it's found the decimal and it's found the actual ticker by itself, and it's done very good. Sorry, I just want to answer that for TD. Go ahead.
That's a really, really good point. Be very, very careful with contract addresses. So link, Link is interesting because I'm not even familiar with the Link as a project very well, but Richard Hart, I actually saw a clip of him when he was talking about PulseChain. He was debating someone that said, listen, all the PRCs that are going to exist are going to have no value whatsoever. And Richard Hart started saying, hey, you know, what can happen is I have some tricks up my sleeve, and perhaps we can have value for Link users over here. And he was basically alluding to the fact that he was going to use the war chest to create either farms or actually bond liquidity and get something cracking over here. So my play is looking at these PRCs that are really undervalued right now, that maybe there's a 1,000 to 1 ratio between the actual asset and what the PRC is, and just getting some. Just putting, every day I'm buying just a little bit from the farming I'm doing.
Yeah,
so,
and you could just use, it's literally, it actually is 5D chess. I hate to say it. I hate to give, you know, Fatso any credit sometimes because I get so frustrated with it. But dude, it's beautiful. If you're an early adopter, if you're a true believer and you're going into these PRCs, you can just use the free money that you made off farming. You made free money. You take that free money, you put it into PRCs. When the farms go live, it's batshit crazy. Basically, that's your base case, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. You know, I was actually staying away from the PRCs, but when you think about it like that, and remember, in crypto, if you can't be smarter than everyone else because it's a zero-sum game, you have to be first. You know what I mean? So if you pick the big names and you're first and you buy some PRCs, don't go batshit, don't go balls deep. Just use some of your ink, swap it in, get some, build a little position, and let's see if Richie Boy is actually going to put up some farms, and then on top of that, you can farm it too, so you can earn off of it. You can hold it early, you can buy it early, you can farm off of it, and the early adopters will be rewarded. Perhaps, you know, like there's no expectations, and also this isn't financial advice. You know, if you get wrecked, don't come crying to me. All right, I'll probably wreck you if that's the
or
case.
to me, I'm in El Salvador. Good luck finding me.
But yeah, so but it's actually a genius idea, and remember, our base case, or the main thing that we're talking about here is like we're trying to figure out what's going to pump next and how to get part of that instead of watching this pump and wondering if you should get in or you're buying the top. You know what I mean?
No, man. I would look for things that show signs of life and just slowly start building positions in them. Because if he doesn't go to phase 3 and literally this is just a playground for hexagons, it'll be a huge flop. Huge flop.
And by flop, what I think, to be honest, by flop, I think that top of the bull market, if this thing flops, if this is just like a hex circle jerk of this like hex chain or whatever, and nobody cares and nobody's onboarded through these PRCs or nothing happens, I still think it'll do like a 2-3x from here. You know what I mean?
For sure. It'll probably do a 10x from here, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, in worst case scenario, I think like 2 to 10x at the top of the bull. You know what I'm saying? Like if everyone forgets about this, but let's keep it real. You can see if you look to the left of your own screen right there, you see Ethereum's number 1. You got a BSC, Arbitrum, and PulseChain is number 4 right here. So you're telling me the number 4 chain in the top of the bull market isn't going to 2 to 10x from here? That's ridiculous. And if this whole strategy of like this vampire attack on Ethereum actually does go through and it actually works out like we anticipate, it's going to change all of our lives, of course. But I mean, I think like a 22x to a 50x is very, very possible, and even upwards of that, depending on the popularity and where all the money is, where the economic energy is. And remember, that's the whole idea, is to bring the economic energy here. And, you know, that's kind of it's almost like our kind of job is like, bro, I'm going to provide liquidity for this shit. You know, I'm going to buy some of these PRCs, make it look active, and attract the rest of the community here. And as long as we don't have too many more hiccups in the code and bugs and stuff, you know, it will work. And it's kind of, you know, up to us too. I mean, you can just chill and hodl, you know, you don't have to do all this. To me, this is fun. I'm just rolling my rewards into this, you know, like it's free. It's not much risk, you know?
Yeah, it is. And
so far we have WBTC, which I bought, full disclosure. We have Link, which is always a popular token.
Yeah, Link has decent liquidity, 57K liquidity. Doesn't sound like much, but like right now, I mean, people are just making farms up and stuff. So it's one of the more liquid pairs. SHIB's at 54K. So I would consider grabbing some SHIB. There's two Pepes. There's one Pepe that's that Jeff from TrustSwap made, and then there's the actual Pepe from Ethereum. So that's what was, I think this is the one that was pumping, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or no?
Well, they both pumped, actually. They both pumped. Like, and I've been calling this the sympathy play. So like when something happens, I always look for the sympathy play, something that's linked to it, you know? So like if Doge is running, the sympathy play would be like SHIB, you know? Mm-hmm. But in the crazy alternate universe that's PulseChain, if Pepe's running, then other Pepe's running. You know what I mean?
Well, people just by accident will probably buy the wrong Pepe. So the rest of the Pepes should benefit. Because if you're going through and just sorting by, if you just type in Pepe and sort by liquidity, it's possible that a different Pepe will have more liquidity. Be very careful though, because they actually have honeypots where you won't be able to actually sell the Pepe that you buy. So be very, very careful. Always check the contract address. Take your time.
Yeah.
Ape is also something. Yeah. Ape could be something interesting. 29K liquidity. What else? There's things like Aave. No idea if that could transfer over, but Aave is kind of a blue chip. And I was looking for some other random ones. QNT, Render. I think it's LDO, Lido maybe, and some others.
All right. So I'm gonna talk Degen just for a second, okay, guys? All right. So me and a couple of the boys in the chat, we bought Mung, which is whose coin is that? You guys remember his name? I'm drawing a blank. He's a crypto influencer. He's always on Twitter. He's funny. He got Mung tattooed on his head, and the shit went down like 98%. But anyways, so we bought a little bit of Mung, and then what we were gonna do is just kind of like build up a position, and then probably just like tweet at him and be like, "Yo, Mung's got it." Same thing, you know. Mung's got activity on here, and see if he'll tweet it, because he has like hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter. Oh, his name's Bitlord. I remember now. Crypto Bitlord. I always found him entertaining. Like last year, he got wrecked or like rugged and like set his couch on fire on Twitter. And he had like this ultra posh apartment. He's just funny, man. He always says dumb stuff, and like he's just a meme in himself. And he did launch his like own shitcoin Mung, and there's actually some liquidity on it, but be careful. It's only like 2K liquidity. But I bought it. Some of the boys in the chat bought it, and I think we're gonna like tweet at him later. You know, I might even provide some LP. We'll see. That's another one. It's ultra Degen. Don't do it. You will get wrecked. You will lose all your money. Don't follow me. That is like I actually have a Degen wallet for like the stupid stuff like that. And honestly, to be honest, like, man, I'm just having fun, you know? And I see that every time I'm just like having fun in crypto and like doing crypto and just chilling and like all the homies get together and do it, I feel like I win more than I lose, you know? So that's another one, like Mung. We're looking at Mung. I'm in WBTC. I'm going to pick up some Link. And these are the PRC pairs. And also if Pepe cools down, bro, I want to get in some Pepe action if it cools down, to be honest. Because that shit ran hard.
It wouldn't be a bad move. It wouldn't be a bad move.
Man, it is still rolling. It will not. Okay, so yeah, it does have a little bit of an M pattern now. It does got a little bit of a head and shoulders on the 1 hour. So take it with a grain of salt. But I'm hoping it rolls over a little bit and comes back down to like a gazillion zeros, 800. A gazillion zeros, 800. The suffix. I would like to get it back in that area. I would be getting in. Just, you know, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling on PulseChain and doing what we're supposed to do on PulseChain. You know, we're just having fun. But Bitlord's famous by dumping on his followers. I mean, who isn't? You know what I mean? But according to him, I don't know. I didn't check the wallet addresses himself, but he didn't. According to him, he had 20 million in Mung. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? They're like, I'm just picking some up and then tweeting at him that it's over here. It's a PRC. And then like, it's a win-win. If he says anything, that shit's going to skyrocket on PulseChain, and PulseChain's going to get a lot of exposure. So it's just like, I'm just having fun, bro. Like, I get it. Everybody's dumping on their followers, including your buddies in Legion, including your favorite Hexagon. You know, like they're all dumping on you too. Like it's all a zero-sum game, man. This is why we're called the WoofPack. We're not mad at it. You know what I mean? We're just doing what we do. And I also said, don't follow me in it. You know what I mean? Because that's just what I'm doing, you know, and a couple of the boys, you know, that's what we're doing. Just having fun with it. We don't actually, hey guys, can one of the moderators ban J Power? Oh, this guy's a mess, bro. Get a life. Get a life, seriously.
Yeah, I feel bad
for some reason I can't delete him. Yeah, just go ahead and delete that clown. Have fun being miserable.
Yeah, no kidding, man. It's really important to have the right psychology during these kind of times, because if you're not having fun and relaxed and loose, you're going to get stressed out, and you're going to end up selling your bag and missing the ride out. So it's important to have some things for your mind to be chewing on while we're waiting for the markets to recover. And I think 2024.
The only thing Jay Parr needs to be chewing on is some Asperger's medication. This guy's crazy in the chat, bro. Chill. We're all just trying to chill and have fun. All right, he's gone. Bye. Peace. Yeah. Peace, Jay Parr. Got the attention you wanted. Peace, homie. Anyways, yeah, guys, like I said, it's all a mental game, you know, like, you don't get shook out. You know what I mean? If you can't handle it, you know, sell and leave, but, I'm rocking with it. I'm going with it. And, I think, Rob's on a fucking tear. I think he's killing it. And like, bro, why? I don't understand. Like, we're shilling shitcoins, bro. Like, we created an L1 for shitcoins. Like, this is what this was designed for. Like, we're just doing what we're doing. I really don't see why people are in crypto and don't like shitcoins. Like, is it just Bitcoin anymore? I don't understand.
It's very tribal, you know. It's just like, you know, some one coiner out there that just wants to go and hate on everyone else, like that's looking to change their life. You know, I mean, this is what it's about, is changing the possibilities of your life. And I don't get it when I talk to someone who's just in love with one token or one coin.
It's too emotional, bro. You get wrecked like that. You
completely.
Know? Like,
you married the game. By the way,
yeah,
we didn't talk
because
about,
you're emotional. You know, I don't love these hoes. You know what I mean? I don't love, like, Hex changed my life, bro. I'm sitting in a fucking nice house because of Hex. You know what I'm saying? Like, it changed my life. I don't love these hoes. Like, it did its time. Like, I liked it. It's a fun contract. It might be a little antiquated. You know what I mean? I don't hate it. I'm not mad at it, but I don't love it. When it comes time to cut its throat, I cut its throat and I move on. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm not going to buy more Hex, and I'm not saying I don't have 30 plus stakes. You know, I do, but like, I'm interested in other things right now. You know what I mean? And I think there will be a place for Hex in the future of this ecosystem. Absolutely. I think it's woven into the fabric of this ecosystem, and it ain't going anywhere. But like, I'm doing other things right now. Like, I'm just having fun, and I'm not trying to put any ill will towards your coin or anything like that. I'm just doing something else. I'm still earning my t-shirts. You know, I still got my stakes. I'm still earning my t-shirts, and I ain't mad at you. You know what I mean? But doing other stuff.
That's a smart approach, man. I don't see Hex moving until after phase 3, after the PRC hook, after the vampire attack. Once the vampire attack happens and stuff, I guarantee you, Richard has a plan for Hex, and it's going to move. So for me, where you were talking about the accumulation zone for, like, was the EHEX at, was it a quarter of a penny or something like that, or half a penny, or?
Yeah, just to the Fibonacci pivot. And just remember, Fibonacci's change. But like right now, if it dumped down to 0.007, I would buy in this Fibonacci era, because every week the Fibonacci's update. And they do a great job at like finding support and resistance levels. Like, I would say like 80% accurate. So I'm going to do it. If it goes down to that fib, I'm just going to do it and hope. You know what I mean? Because that's you can't win without playing the game. You know, there's risk involved in this game. If you want to win, you have to play the game. And that's what we're essentially talking about, is what our strategy is with PulseChain, with PRCs. What's Richard thinking? How can we dominate? How can we capitalize? This is, in fact, the WoofPack. You know, we have teeth. We're not, you know, this isn't the sheep pack. You know what I mean? This isn't Richard Hart's harem where we just do whatever he says. We're the WoofPack. We're a little bit edgy. You know, we're a bit loners. We're our own little community. You know, you're welcome here. But yeah, so that's kind of, is there anything else? Because I try to keep it around the 1 hour mark. But I know I've cut you off so many times. I'm sorry.
No,
But
man, I love your
is there
rants.
any,
Just go with it, dude.
is there
All
anything
I
else?
wanted to say was to talk about, I mean, really to look at, if you were Richard Hart, how would you go approach it? And what are his objectives? And how is he going to accomplish those objectives? He has a huge war chest. He hasn't deployed it. He has a lot of social media. He hasn't deployed it. Why is he waiting? He's basically like a general in a battle, and he's watching the battle happen right now, and he's sacrificing some of his soldiers right now, which is people that are all in on Hex, and that's nothing else. They're gonna be taking heavy losses for a while. They will, but in the end, it'll circle back and they'll be just fine. But
Yeah.
our job is to understand his mentality, his vision, and say, okay, how can we capitalize on what's coming next? Right now, farming is the place to be. Farming and fixing. He's fixing,
Exactly.
we're farming. Everyone's happy. Yeah. All he has to do is maintain the ink price. If he lets the ink price drop too low, that's a problem.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like, why would I buy Hex and stake it for 5 years when I'm making like a living wage every single 24 hours? Like,
yep.
This is what we're supposed to be doing right now. This is like, Richard can't say, hey, I'm the CEO of PulseChain.com and I want everybody to farm right now. He can't say that. He can only just crank APYs. And then it's like, okay, I see the APYs are hot. Let me get in on this. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? So like you were saying, there's a next phase, could be, we're not saying it is, we don't know, but we're saying it could be the PRC20 farms to vampire attack and onboard the Ethereum community guys, because, hey, all you got to do is click over. Right now, those guys don't give a shit because their shit ain't worth shit. If you're a big Link, like Link is a great one. And here's why I'm going to buy Link, and I'm not telling you to buy it. You will get wrecked. Don't follow me. You will die from AIDS. I'm going to buy Link because it's an army, right? The Link army. Those guys are a huge community, and they're not as vicious as the Hex community, but they are a tight-knit community. If it goes viral in their community that like, yo, Link is worth something, I have money. Even if they say, hey, I'm about to go dump, fuck these guys, it's still an onboarded person. And then it forces people to adapt their thinking of like, okay, well, I'm just going to switch chains and go over here, and I got value over here. But while I'm here, yo, check it out. They got their own shit going, and it's kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, shit, this is actually, I went to go dump my PRC Link, and it was like 10 times cheaper than ETH. Oh, shit, then take that money to ETH and get robbed on ETH. Every fucking transaction, get robbed, you know? Right now, it's cheap. Yeah, right now, it's cheap, you know? Like, the activity and volume in cryptocurrency is way fucking down, right? So, like, right now, but wait till we start rolling again. Wait till, remember, just this last pump, everybody has a short memory, how bad the fees were, how BRC20s were killing Bitcoin, right? And how ETH fees were killing ETH, and PulseChain didn't exist yet. So wait for that to happen again. And then at the same time, by the way, we got these PRCs. You already got your tokens over here. You know what I mean? So anyways,
honestly, the environment is going to be insane. When this happens, when phase 3 actually starts picking up steam, all the air is going to get sucked out of the room, and everyone is going to be like, hey man, we got our tokens. It has a 15% or 20% of its value of the real one. And some people are going to be like, I'm just going to dump them and buy more on the real chain and this and that. But the thing is, everyone is going to be talking about it. And so I think it's going to be a huge benefit to PLS, PLSX, the community as a whole. I think we're going to have more. Imagine the headlines if we have more volume than Ethereum. I mean,
it's a done deal.
It's a killer move. And so for me, I'm kind of surprised more people aren't talking about this. Like after I mentioned it to you, it was weird. It was like 36 hours later, Richard Hart dropped a little Easter egg and was like, hey, should I start bonding some PRCs with ERCs? Remember that? He tweeted about that, like, was it yesterday or the day before? And so he's now starting to be a little bit more obvious.
Yeah, and by the way, JT saying I'm wondering who would want to add their real link with the PRC copy link. The the impermanent loss would be massive.
Well, think about this. Richard Hart has probably a lot of link, doesn't he? Doesn't the war chest have link in it?
Yeah, but that's a pretty bold statement. What I would say is the APRs are probably going to be high, And what I'm saying, the other thing that I'm saying is everybody is too concerned about impermanent loss, in my opinion, because it's a mental game and a head game, and it's not for everybody. Not everybody can be a LP. Not everyone can farm, because it's a different style of investment. Okay, because like I'm thinking it more like a treasury or something like that, like a dividend paying stock. Like as long as I'm getting my dividends, you know, I really don't care what's going on over there. If you're going on over there and you're scared about the ratio, it's not for you. You know what I mean? And if you're going on there with your entire portfolio, it's not for you. It's like I have my portfolio, and then like that, I'm like when I add to my LP USDC PLS, I buy that PLS side. You know what I mean? Like I don't rob from my PLS side, because these are two different investment strategies. By the way, not investment advice. You will get wrecked. You will get AIDS. Not investment advice. But it's two investment strategies, okay? So like I'll add my PLS and my USDC side, because in my mind, I'm like, this is my farm. Whatever happens on these pairs happens, because your impermanent loss can go way, like PLS could dump like crazy, and then you're stacking these shitty tokens and losing your USDC. And then in 2 months, it's flipped the other way. And at the end of the day, did it matter? You know what I mean? The only way you could get wrecked is if the APRs drop so much and you have to close it, you know? But then you still, you know, you still have your both sides. So I don't think about what the price is of PLS when I'm looking at my farm. All I'm looking at is how much yield it's producing. And if it's producing a living freaking wage every day, I don't care what that ratio is. It is not my main portfolio. My main portfolio is long. My main portfolio is going. I'm not trading it or anything like that. I'm hodling it for the 4-year bull cycle theory. I'm waiting for the next halving, the next bull run. I'm holding it for that. I'm building it for that. And this PRC strategy is something I also am going to adopt. And I'm not telling you that that's what you should do. This is not financial advice. All right.
Man, it's tough being a U.S. citizen, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm scared. Shit, they're gonna kick it. They're gonna kick in the door like that meme. You know, so rappel down my house. And like, dude, did you? Yeah. But anyways, man, we got to wrap this shit up. But hey, Rob is actually starting or has a channel. Why don't you tell him about your channel?
Oh, it doesn't even exist yet, man. Honestly,
Okay.
it doesn't even exist yet. I was thinking about calling it. Let me know if you guys like the name of this channel. Pulse Depot. Let me know if you think it's decent. But I wanted to go and cover some content related to PulseChain, but I'm going to make content related to whatever the hell I care about. So it's not going to be like.
I have to get you connected to Funding Jim, because he's the top G in PulseChain, in my opinion.
He was in the chat. I don't know if he's still here, but he was in the chat earlier, right?
He might be. He's probably like flying to some exotic place with
Would
5
you say
miles.
He was in like Aruba or something like that? That's awesome.
Huh?
I think he said he was in Aruba or something crazy.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know
Athens?
where he said he
was it Athens?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I don't want to talk about where he's at and shit, but yeah, he's always
the one who he in the chat. I'm just repeating what he wrote.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that part in the chat. But anyways, we're going long. Guys, I'll be doing another stream this weekend if I feel like it. But I feel like it was a fun stream and productive. Like, I'm not trying to just make content for content's sake because I'm trying to build a channel. I'm just doing shit because we literally have something to say. And what we're basically trying to say is, I'm not really tripping off of this FUD. Just like when Coinbase got sued with the SEC, I'm not worried about it. Got the 2024 election coming. New crypto rules. Crypto is going to be in the forefront of the argument, and it's going to be hard to argue against the people and what they want. I think the crypto laws are going to be better. Don't sweat Binance. Don't sweat the bullshit. Stay the course. Stay the 4-cycle theory. Experiment. Play around with PulseChain. Don't get down on yourself. You know, launches come out. They're fucked up sometimes. You know what I mean? They're like, yes, it was a shit show, but what isn't in this community? You know, like, so. I mean, just ride it out, rock with us, have fun, you know, and don't sweat too much. You know, it's gonna go up and it's gonna go down and shit, and just try to get yourself the right strategy that's for your investment style and chill. Don't trip. All right. Anyways, man, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Join the WoofPack, and we'll see you on the next one. If I feel like doing a video, if I have something to say.